What's going on, everybody? My name is Tenebrous Infinite, and today I'm going to show you dudes how to build your very own target range here in Generation Zero. This is going to be the first of probably a ton of base building videos I'm going to do, from base traps to little builds like this that will spruce up your own bases, and even full-on base designs for you dudes. But I figured it would be good to start kinda simple here and show you dudes how to build your very own target range, because we all always need a little bit of target practice. Whether it's testing new guns or even legitimately practicing your aim, a target range is actually really useful to have here in the game. And outside of that, the build just looks dang cool, so let's show you dudes how to build it. So first off, let's talk about the dimensions for this build here. It is 5 wide and 7 long. It can be a little bit of a resource sink because you're utilizing a lot of tall walls, but ultimately this is not too costly of a build to make. Especially if you've been farming wood. I put out a video on how to farm wood infinitely just the other day. If you haven't checked that out, it's going to be linked in the description down below. Now, to start with, you're going to place down a corner pylon, and you're going to use this corner pylon to kind of guide the rest of the build. From that point, you're going to take your 5 walls, and you're just going to run them along and have them facing to the outside. The idea is to create a flush box on the outside, so that way, if you are building a kind of compartmental base, you'll be able to slap other compartments onto this, and we'll be talking about that approach to base building in the future with lots of other videos on different approaches to how you can build your base here in the game. Now, next up, you're going to take your tall walls and you're going to run them the lengthwise, so that's going to be 7 walls long. Now, you're going to mirror that on the other side and run the walls 7 long, and then you're going to place a corner pylon and bring 2 walls out, place a corner pylon on the other side, and then bring 2 walls out again and leave the middle open. That's going to function as your kind of doorway into the target range. I really hope at some point the devs will add doors that work on odd numbers. A 6 wide door is such a pain to deal with. But next up, we're going to be making our walls flush on the inside by taking a second layer of high walls and running them along the inside lengthwise. You wind up with this really kind of clean 2 walls leading you on towards your targets at the end of the range, and I think that it winds up with this really nice effect here. On top of that, the added benefit too is that this is a pretty beastly little structure, so if you were to slap it on the side of your base somewhere, it would serve as a pretty decent defense alongside being a nice aesthetic build. Now, next up, what we're going to set up is a kind of inner wall here that will be your shooting point. So you're going to take these small walls and you're going to put 2 on either side, and that will leave you with a 1 block gap right in the middle that serves as a perfect point to shoot from. You also want to put it forwards by just about 2 blocks, so that way you can leave yourself some room for some interior lighting that you're going to be putting down in just a second here. Now that we've finished this entire outer portion of the target range, now we can finally start putting down some targets and putting down some lighting on the inside to finish this off. Now, the way I like to set up my targets is having 2 seekers on the outside and then alternating doggos and hunters on the inside, in order to just kind of create a number of variables in the targets that I'm going to be shooting at. And as well, I like to take a couple individual spots and put some lighting right in front of the targets, because that way I'll be able to go off to the range at nighttime or at daytime or whenever I need to, and I'll be able to shoot at the targets and have clear visibility. Now, for the lighting, I start off on the outer edge, then just on the outer wall, I come right to the middle with 2 blocks on either side and just place the lighting right in the middle, and then on the outside, I place the lighting on either side of the door. It winds up with this really nice cascading kind of light effect, and these small lanterns have this really kind of warm light here in the game, which is really nice to use to create a kind of just chilled out atmosphere. So yeah, my dudes, it's a pretty excellent little range here, and it's compact, it's cheap, and most importantly, it looks pretty dang good. Hopefully you dudes enjoyed this little tutorial on how to build a range. We're going to have a lot more building tutorials coming in the very near future, so make sure you're subscribed for them so you don't miss out on any along the way. But for now, I've been Tenebris Infinite, you've been awesome, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. Until then, peace out folks.